There is a moment inside certain meetings where your influence begins to slip, and almost no one notices it when it happens. It doesn't come from someone challenging you. It doesn't come from a disagreement. It doesn't come from a loud moment. It comes from something quiet, something subtle, something that feels harmless in the moment, but changes how the room responds to you from that point forward. It usually begins when you speak, and the room doesn't shift with you, not because they disagree, but because they're waiting to see if you'll adjust your point, waiting to see if you'll soften your stance, waiting to see if you'll change direction based on the reactions around the table. And the moment they start waiting, your influence has already begun to weaken. Influence inside a meeting is not about how much you talk. It's about how the room moves when you talk. Strong influence creates alignment. Quiet influence creates clarity. But slipping influence creates hesitation. And hesitation spreads faster than confidence. Most leaders don't lose influence because they said the wrong thing. They lose influence because of how they respond to the room after they speak. They watch faces. They adjust their tone. They add extra explanation. They try to make sure everyone is comfortable. And in doing so, they unintentionally signal that their position is flexible, even when it isn't. People in the room pick up on this instantly. They begin offering alternatives to test your conviction. They begin suggesting different angles to see if you'll shift. They begin speaking with more certainty than you do. And slowly, without any confrontation, the center of gravity in the meeting moves away from you. This shift is almost invisible while it's happening. You still speak. You still contribute. You still lead the conversation. But the room no longer orients itself around your words. It orients itself around the reactions to your words. And that is the moment your influence begins to dissolve. There is a deeper psychological layer to this. People don't follow the person who talks the most. They follow the person who seems the most anchored, the person who doesn't need the room's approval to hold their position, the person who can listen without shrinking, the person who can adjust without losing clarity. When you start looking for signals of acceptance, the room senses it immediately, and once they sense it, they recalibrate your influence without saying a word. Think about the last meeting where you explained your point twice. Think about the moment you softened your tone because the room felt tense. Think about the time you added extra context because someone raised an eyebrow. These moments feel small, but they are the moments where influence quietly shifts away from you. Influence doesn't disappear because someone else takes it. It disappears because you stop holding it with the same level of certainty. And the room responds exactly as human systems always do. They follow the person who seems the most grounded in their own perspective. The danger is that leaders often misread this shift. They think the team is being difficult. They think the culture is changing. They think people are becoming more vocal. But the truth is simpler. The room is responding to the signals you're sending. Signals you didn't realize you were sending. Signals that tell them your position is open to negotiation even when you believe it isn't. The question every leader must ask is not, "Why isn't the room aligned with me?" The real question is, "What did I do that made the room think my position was flexible?" Because influence doesn't slip in a dramatic moment. It slips in the quiet moments where you adjust yourself to the room instead of holding the room steady with you. And once you see those moments clearly, you begin to understand something important. Influence is not about control. It's about presence. It's about conviction. It's about the quiet confidence that tells the room, without force, that you know where you stand. And when you hold that, the room holds with you.